So I got these dirt cheap LED projector style lights for the Pioneer. One of mine already has water in them. They are different than the dirt cheap ones I bought to convert my Rubicon a long time ago. They don't seem to be nearly as heavy duty. They're still kind of heavy, but not as heavy as they used to be. This connector doesn't look as sealed, and they have a port on them now. They used to just have a little hole with a sticker on it right here, and in the previous video I just siliconed over it and it was fine. This has a little breather, and when you take that breather apart, it's a cap, and inside the cap is a little rubber guy with a little one-way, not really one-way, it's almost like a little filter diaphragm on it. So I don't know if that's waterproof. I doubt it's a piece of Gore-Tex. And so you can see my finger through it. So yeah, so I'm just gonna put a cap on it. That's a little hole. And then I'm gonna pressure test them and see how watertight they are. Or hopefully they work out, but I think I like the old knockoff ones better. These are like 150 bucks on eBay. All right, so there's the stock unit compared to the aftermarket one. As you can see, these are bigger, so you got to use these adapters they came with. So that's nice they gave you those. You do need them. But overall, dimensions look pretty good. Getting this sucker out is actually kind of a bitch. You got to pull a bunch of these plastic screws, or these screws into plastic rather. And you can see the threads come with them for some reason. So this is the headlight tray. It ends up up in there like that. I pulled out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws, and this bracket that holds it, it'd be nice if you could remove this bracket, but this bracket goes up there all the way across to the other side. So you can't do that. So the best you can do is just to pull this tray down in this way, leave it kind of up there, and then you can get the headlight assembly out. Before you do all that, of course, remove your adjuster screw. Real pain in the ass. Seal that up. I put some ultra black in those 2 empty holes, and I also put a cap on there with some ultra black, and I pressure tested it. It feels pretty good. These little plastic couplers are also held on with ultra black, just so they don't fall off during the install process. Just figure out the wiring by simply touching these 3 wires at the back of the light to these pins from the bulb. Turns out that the blue with the black stripe is your high beam, your white is your low beam, and your green is your ground on the factory connector. And on the light, yellow is low beam, red is high beam, black is ground. Pretty simple to figure out. When this is in high beam, all the bulbs are on, and it's freaking bright. All right, so the easiest way to do the wiring is to take apart the connector. Those are the pins down there. I'll attempt to show you this. It's kind of tricky, but you just, to depin it, you just take a pick and you go in here and you push it in there like that. That'll push the tab down, and then you can pull this out the back. Okay. Right, there's your connector. I already cut this one because I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have cut it. So I ended up soldering another set of pins on here. Now you have just bare pins that were stock on these wires, but I cut them before I realized this was the best way to do it. Then you just take those pins and you stick them in the factory connector where those pins are. That's how I'm going to do it. And then I'm just going to wrap electrical tape around it, and it'll be fine. Put some dielectric grease in there, etc. I'm going to put heat shrink over this part of it so there's no shorting. But that's the easy, lazy way to do this, is just take the pins that came on the light, remove them from the connectors, and jam them into your factory pins. The right way to do it would be to get another connector. I tried making a connector with this bulb. You see the solder slag in there. Whatever these little elements are, they don't solder very well, so screw that. This will be just fine. Brightness comparison for you, that's low beam. So on low beam, only the top 3 LEDs are lit. These are off. High beam, you can find the switch. There's high beam. You can see that the LEDs are significantly brighter. Goal. Pretty mean. Now I just gotta do this side. Maybe I won't because I'm lazy. Let me show you how I did the wiring. It's super lazy. It'll work just fine. You guys can hate on it all you want. This is the factory connector with the pins that came with the lights just stuck in the location. So again, there. I did put some dielectric on it and then pop the cap in. Good to go. Let's see if it ever unplugs. I doubt it will. This is a pain in the ass, mostly because of where Honda puts all these bolts that hold this light assembly in. That one up there is a real bitch, and so is that one, to get everything lined up. And half the threads came out, so Honda needs to fire the intern that designed this headlight mounting scheme.